All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into the pretty ambitious world of a creator named Donald Matthew Varnado, and we're not just talking about new tech here. He claims to have engineered an entire new reality. So, let's get into it and see what that's all about.
So, things kick off with this declaration. The portrait of the old guard just fell off the wall and cracked in half. Notice the language there. It's not a prediction, it's not a warning, it's presented as something that has already happened. The message is pretty clear. The old system is done and something new is here. Which, immediately makes you ask, okay, who is this guy? And are these just some really confident words? Or is there actually something real to back any of this up?
And that leads us right into our first section, the gauntlet is thrown. And the message here is loud and clear. The old way of doing business, it's over. The era of open invites and free collaboration has, apparently, come to a hard stop.
The way he tells it, this wasn't the starting point. Varnado says he put out some huge offers for collaboration. We're talking a $110 billion symmetry project, but was basically met with crickets. So the result? The door that was once open for partnership has been firmly shut and locked.
So the gloves come off and the approach totally changes. The new stance is, and I quote, "I'm no longer giving brilliance away. It's pay to play now." This isn't just about making money. It's a fundamental shift. Access to these ideas now has a price tag.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? This isn't a negotiation. On one side, you had the old offer, collaboration, open doors, partnership. The new reality, it's licensing, closed doors, and, well, invoices. The terms have been set.
Okay, so pay to play is a big claim, but it only works if you've actually got something worth paying for, right? Which brings us to our next section, the builder's proof. Are there actual results to justify all this confidence?
And this is the centerpiece of his proof, a project called the Phoenix Sentinel. It's described as a full-spectrum AI framework, basically a whole digital brain. But here's the truly wild part. The claim is that it was built not in years or even months, but in hours.
And this is where things get really interesting. Just look at this comparison. A prototype delivered in 2 hours versus 7 to 10 years. 0 design reviews versus 37. I mean, the contrast is just staggering. It's clearly designed to make legacy industry standards look totally obsolete.
So what's the point of all this speed? What's the end game here? Well, according to Varnado, it's about unlocking this number, $53 trillion, with a T. That's his estimate of the value just sitting there, completely wasted by slow, inefficient, old guard systems. And he's saying his technology can get it back.
So you're probably wondering, how in the world is that kind of speed even possible? Well, the answer he gives isn't just about better code or faster computers. He says it's rooted in something much deeper, a core philosophy he calls a protocol of belief.
And here's the core idea, the engine behind everything. What we believe, we achieve. Where our attention goes, energy flows. The concept here is that our reality isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we actively create with our collective belief. Our shared mindset is essentially the operating system for the world.
And that's why the goal isn't what you might expect. It's not about burning everything down. Instead, the idea is to fundamentally reprogram that base-level operating system of our beliefs, which is what gives the old systems their power in the first place.
So how do you do that? Well, he actually lays out a 4-step plan. It starts by just acknowledging the constructed lies we believe. Then you stop feeding them your energy and start building something real and new. It all leads to what he calls spiritual sovereignty, which is really about taking back full ownership of your own reality.
And all of this entire philosophy, it all comes together in the creation of a powerful new tool. But it's not an app or a piece of hardware. It's something way more fundamental. It's a word.
And that word is nostalgique. The thinking here is that our current language just doesn't cut it. We need a new term to describe a more empowered, more intentional way of looking at our past. It's not just remembering, it's remembering on purpose.
And this is a really important distinction. The claim is that nostalgia is like a drug, right? It's a passive, sugar-coated thing that keeps you stuck. But nostalgique is positioned as a tool, a scalpel, something you use to find the truth of your past, not just drown in a fuzzy version of it.
And this idea is built on 3 key pillars. First, you treat your memory like a resource, a place to find tools, not just old baggage.
Second, you apply a truth filter to correct the BS narrative you've been telling yourself. And finally, you do a forward remix. You take the authentic parts of your past and use them as raw material to build what's next.
And here's the kicker, where it all connects. Nostalgique isn't just a random philosophical idea. It's presented as the human experience layer, the user interface, if you will, for his entire system. It's the human element that connects the technology of the Phoenix Sentinel with the philosophy of the belief protocol.
Which brings us to the bottom line, really. The goal of this whole practice, this art of conscious remembering, isn't just about feeling better about what happened. The goal is achieving sovereignty, complete self-ownership, right here in the present. So, it all leaves us with this one final question to ask ourselves. Are you remembering to grow or remembering to drown? From a bold pay-to-play strategy to a whole new art of memory, the vision of Donald Matthew Varnado is, if nothing else, ambitious. It suggests that maybe the most powerful tool we have for building the future is how we choose to interpret the past.